Hello, good morning. I'm on a walk. I'm about to humble somebody, I think, because I was watching a tarot video, or listening to a tarot video, I should say, and she was talking about people who pretend to be busier than they are, and I started thinking about that, and I was like, isn't that crazy? We have 24 hours in the day, and you're gonna pretend to be busy as a coping mechanism, as a means for control, instead of just being busy. That's crazy. Um, And like I've definitely noticed that this is a thing. Like there are people in the world like who play these little mind games when it comes to dating, when it comes to friendship. They'll pretend like they're busy. They'll like, and it's like, what the fuck? And it's like, it's crazy to think about what they're actually doing in actuality. Like, just sitting around, just waiting for, and it's like, what the fuck? We have 24 hours in the day. You're gonna waste your time pretending like you have things to do instead of just being straightforward and real with people. Like, what the fuck? Like, honestly, I could probably at some point do a master class. I'm not going to. I probably will. But I could probably do a master class on manipulation because, like, there's so many manipulative people in the world. And, like, don't get your panties in a bunch. Being manipulative doesn't inherently make you evil because by nature humans are kind of manipulative. Like when you think about babies, they manipulate to get their needs met. They cry so that they, you know what I mean, so they can get picked up and they can get changed and all that jazz. Like by nature humans are manipulative. Like that's we've bred that into our DNA. But like the point of spirituality, of becoming aware, of becoming conscious and whatever, is so that you can maybe not do those not so great things, those habits anymore, like manipulating people for your needs, and just maybe learning how to talk straight and tell people exactly what you want and walking away if you can't get it, maybe, possibly, I don't know. But then there is something to be said about people who prefer to get their needs met on the sly. I don't know what that's about. That could be a trauma thing in itself. Like people who feel like they have to be sneaky to get their needs met, like they have to steal. Like, I don't know, like I feel like for some people it's a thrill. Like it just feels more exciting to steal something rather than just ask for it. I don't know. I don't get it personally. I don't get it personally. And since we're talking about manipulation, I'm gonna veer off into talking about money a little bit because I did not journal about it this morning. I've been really consistently journaling, like super consistently. Like if you looked at my journal, you'd be like, oh wow, he's really consistent. And I didn't journal this morning before I went on my walk. But I did have a relatively decent meditation moment last night. Okay, also, I'm recording this in August. Just for anybody who might be wondering or anything like that, I'm recording this in August. And by the time you'll see this, it will be September. Like, I'm going to schedule this for September. So, hopefully, everything that I'm saying has, like, evolved or whatever, elevated. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, like, I've been worried about money. There's a video that I'll have posted before this where I talk about going through a little bit of a crisis or whatever. It's called, oh, can I be vulnerable with you? Unless I decide to change it. I don't know. I've been trying to save up for my first car. I just got my license. And it's been proving to be a very slow journey. And hopefully not foolishly, hopefully I don't grow to regret this decision, but out of my addiction, I don't like claiming addiction, but I'm going to for the sake of this explanation. But out of my addiction, I chose to help my friend with a bill that he needs help with or whatever, because I have the ability to, technically, even though I'm supposed to be saving for a car. But like, he's helped me in plenty of times. He's helped me even when he wasn't really able to or wasn't supposed to. So I don't know. It's like a multifaceted pen for some reason. I don't know why there'd be different points of the pen. Maybe that was a weird. But yeah, one of the things that I wanted to document, if I had my other phone, which I don't have my other phone because I do a lot of my journaling in my notes app, which is not on this phone. This is not that. This is not an iPhone. You can probably tell from the video quality. But I found like 3 pennies, and pretty consistently I've been finding pennies. I don't think I've really journaled about that aspect of my journey, if I can speak, but I have been finding a lot of pennies, a lot of coins. I found a dime yesterday, which was really cool, and it's just little things, but it's just like little moments of also, I'm sorry, I'm not wearing my glasses today, so I know I'm a little bit more attractive, and the sun is not allowing you to see that. But you know, I found a couple pennies on the ground because I don't have an issue with making money and attracting money, like usually. And I'm like, I don't really talk about stuff like this. I really like to stay grounded in what we perceive to be reality. But like, I know that there are people working against me when it comes to my money. I know there are people who don't want me to make money because they're fucking in their ego and they're fucking in their shadow, and they allow their jealousy to take over and some stupid shit. And I know that's a thing. I know it's a thing, unfortunately. Even if they never speak about it, even if they never admit to it, I know that's a thing, because it's just like, even just in your movements, like even the way that you like move around me, you know what I mean? It's like, obviously you don't want me to have my own, you know? Like, I don't know, whatever. And there is a message within that, I guess, about trying to collaborate with people who do not have your best interests at heart. I think it can work if your own energy is strong enough, if your own intention is strong enough. I think it can work. Like, for example, if you're a rapper and you're working with another rapper who just quite frankly does not really like you for whatever reason, for whatever personal reason, because more times than not, it's a personal issue. It's not because you're a terrible person. It's not because you're annoying. It's because they have something within themselves that they have not resolved. But anyways, say you're in that sort of situation and you're working on music and you're wanting it to go viral or whatever. I think it's very possible for that to happen, but like, a lot of times there's going to be resistance, there's going to be issues because that other person doesn't want the same goal as you, because they probably just want it for themselves or something, you know? So you got to really be careful about working with people who don't really have your best interest at heart. Like, I think it can work. I think it can definitely, you know, like, I'm thinking of this friend that I used to have or whatever. We're still mutuals on Instagram. I don't know. I feel like this person also kind of allowed their ego to take over, but that's none of my business. And I don't know, it's really annoying that I said it's none of my business. It is my business because I'm talking about it, bitch. But it's really frustrating when I see successful people be like jealous of smaller creators and stuff. It's just like weird. It's like, what? Because they've done quite a lot. Like, they've, as far as I'm aware, like, they've been very successful in their career. And I was supposed to be on their podcast at one point. If they ever watch this, I guess they'll know who I'm talking about. But I don't know. I was supposed to be on their podcast at one point, and on that podcast, it was with, I think, it was with this dude. And at some point, she was complaining to me about how he was like, really, his work ethic was lacking. And, you know, in hindsight, now I'm like having the wherewithal to say, I don't even know if she was telling me the truth. I'm not saying she wasn't telling me the truth, but I don't know. But she was saying that his work ethic was lacking, and that his priorities were in a different place. And I'm only using this as an example because, from my perspective, it seems like they just didn't have, their values weren't completely aligned, at least not anymore by that point. And so at some point they stopped doing that podcast. She had moved on to another podcast, and then eventually that podcast ended. And I was kind of salty because that second podcast, it was also, well, not also, it was a relationship podcast. Like, they were a couple. Ooh, another penny. Very dirty one, but penny. But yeah, it was a relationship podcast, and that relationship podcast ended because they broke up, I guess. And it was sad because it was like, oh wow, they're not together anymore, they're not making content. Like, I thought it was really good content. Like, sometimes I would tune in and I would watch because I was just like, this is really good, you know. Like, very insightful, very, very good information. And I don't know, I guess we could also talk about, I thought I had my glasses, I was trying to fix my glasses, I don't got glasses to put up to fix. I don't know. Where was I going with this? I don't know. I've been really focusing on, and I'm only feeling okay to share this intimately because I know that I'll be posting this a couple weeks from now and it won't be posted immediately. But as I'm recording this, I've been really focusing on like making more money and like up leveling my general existence. And it's been a struggle. I've had to work with a lot of inner resistance, a lot of external resistance. And recently, within the last 2 days, I think, or last day, I've been focused heavily on quantum mechanics. And I feel like that's kind of helped a little bit, honestly. You know, I'm supposed to, like I already said, I'm supposed to help out my friend today. And I don't know. I think I've let it go. I think I've let go of the fear attached to it for the most part. Because the fear around it is that, like, I won't be able to make that money back and I'll never get to my goal. Even though it's literally, like, when you really think about the concept of money in this reality and how everything costs money. I saw a joke the other day. Somebody was like, it costs like $283 just to wake up. And, like, honestly, like, a lot of things, it, like, just to enjoy this reality, like, it does cost a lot. You know, if you want to enjoy it from the Matrix perspective, I guess, like, if you don't mind hiking, if you don't mind being in solitude, if you don't mind being out in nature or whatever, then there's a lot to do. Like, I'm walking out in the graveyard right now, obviously. I haven't spent money yet. But for a lot of people, that is the reality. Like, it costs a lot of money to do a lot of different things. There's even places, which is baffling to me, there's even places where you can go out into nature, but you still have to pay to be there, which is really weird. It's like, oh, you made me pay to be out in nature? What the fuck? And if I could even talk about that for 2 seconds, isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy how we have monetized and cut off different areas of this land called America when literally we stole it ourselves? And I say we, I'm just the royal we, but it was stolen. The land was stolen, and then they try to turn around and be like, oh no, this land is off limits, you can't go here, this is private property. Bitch, what? Where was that energy when y'all decided to come over here and, like, literally steal the land? What the fuck? But I digress. We live in a very interesting world if you truly pay attention, if you truly have your eyes open, you know what I mean? And I don't know. I feel like I've said a lot of different things in this video. And I don't know, once again, hopefully by the time I get this video published, hopefully I have some more money and hopefully I'm in a little bit of a better spot. I don't know, I'm waiting for a miracle if you're watching this, even though the time is different because we're in 2 different times. Please pray for me. Like, please send some prayers to this version of me because I am really in need of some assistance. You know? And maybe that's not what I need. Maybe what I need is to get out of my comfort zone. Maybe what I need is to, I'm just being transparent. I'm just going with the flow. Maybe what I need is to get out of my comfort zone and, like, do the things that terrify me. You know, maybe that's part of the thing. But I also know that there are people around me that don't want me to fucking do that thing. And because I'm so sensitive to energy, I'm always picking up on shit. Everything that's said and unsaid. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. If you're going through a similar situation, I'm just going to urge you to keep your head up. Keep your spirits high. Drink lots of water. If you start getting emotional, it'll be okay. It'll be alright. It'll be alright. My evidence for that, for how it's going to be alright, I don't know. Because it's been alright up to this point, I guess. I don't know. Alright, this is end of the transmission. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.